If you keep trying to spend less time on your phone, but inevitably find yourself scrolling again, this video is for you. Most people believe they spend too much time on their phone because they're undisciplined. Now, I believed this for a very long time. I genuinely thought something was wrong with me. I thought everyone else had this incredible self-control and I didn't. And the more I tried to fix my screen time addiction with discipline and willpower, the worse it got. So before I get into what actually broke the cycle for me, we have to first look at why the old approach was never going to work in the first place. For most of my life, I tried to deal with screen time addiction using willpower. I would make these dramatic promises to myself that tomorrow I was going to stop scrolling forever and I was going to be productive 24/7. I was never going to waste time. And then a few days, a few weeks later, I would relapse, I would slip back to old habits, and I would feel terrible about myself. And I think the worst part was that I knew I wanted to change, but I had no idea how to actually make it sustainable. Then a couple months ago, a friend sent me a 7-day screen time challenge and said, hey man, this thing can help you and it's not going to require any willpower. And I'll admit, I was super hesitant at first. I was like, okay, there's no way this thing's actually going to work. But I tried it and I can tell you it did work and it completely changed my life. I think the biggest thing it helped me realize is that I wasn't weak. It was just that I was using the wrong strategy completely. And I know it might be hard to believe that there is a method that works so well because you've probably tried everything and you still find yourself scrolling at 1 a.m. from time to time. It feels like it's a you problem and you have to solve it and you're wasting your potential. And I get that, I fully do. But as someone who tried to solve this problem for years using that method, just hear me out on this new approach that really helped me and I believe it will help you as well. So with that said, let's get into the video. Point number 1, willpower was never the solution. When you only rely on willpower, it's not a case of if you'll slip up, it is a case of when. It's kind of like when you see those kids playing at the beach and they're trying to fight with the waves and they're trying to, I don't know, defeat the ocean. But you know it's never going to work because the ocean cannot be beaten, and on top of that, the ocean never gets tired, but the kid does. And the thing most people don't realize is that your brain built these bad habits and these addictions to protect you, not to ruin your life. So when you try to remove these bad habits without looking at why they're there in the first place, your brain freaks out. It thinks that you are trying to hurt yourself, so it stops that from happening. Because as much as these things are bad for you, and you know this logically, your brain doesn't fully understand that. Your subconscious doesn't get it. It just thinks that these things are filling needs which are not being met otherwise, so it's going to keep them in your life so that you have all of your needs and requirements met. And when you try to fight through these issues with discipline, you're basically taking the one thing your brain trusts to calm you down and you're just removing it. And that's why you're going to inevitably fail, because your survival instincts are kicking in and your body wants you to be okay. And it believes that you can't be unless you keep this thing in your life. This whole using discipline method is similar to someone going on an extreme diet and then being surprised when they mess up a couple of days later. The worst part is they blame themselves for this as well, when really it was just the approach that was wrong. So instead of trying to fight the urges, our goal is to reduce the urges by addressing what is causing them in the first place. There's a quote that wraps this up really nicely, which is, "Don't ask why the addiction, ask why the pain." And that brings us on to point number 2, which is that you are treating the symptoms instead of the root cause. You're trying to stop using your phone without asking what you're using your phone to escape from. It's like putting a bucket under a leaky ceiling and then not fixing the leak itself. Your scrolling is the symptom, it's not actually the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list out a couple of very common causes of addiction, and this isn't just screen addiction, this is like overall. And you can see if some of them resonate with you and if you think that they could be leading you to scroll more than you would like to. And I say scroll, it just means overconsume in any way. Number 1, loneliness. You don't have the love and connections that you want in your life. So naturally, you go onto Instagram, you watch movies, you watch TV shows where people seem to have the love that you desire, so that you can almost imagine that you are in their shoes and you actually do have that social connection that you need but don't have. Number 2, boredom. If you do not know how to deal with boredom, then naturally you're going to reach for a screen every time you experience it. And what's really rough is the more you scroll, the more you overconsume, the more bored you're going to feel in your day-to-day life because of the way dopamine works. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of dopamine. Just know that if you engage in a lot of instant gratification activities, you're going to need more of those activities to feel the same way you felt beforehand. Number 3, lack of freedom. If you don't feel like you are where you want to be in your life, you feel trapped, then of course you're going to watch the adrenaline junkies who are doing crazy things, or the Bali influencers sitting at the beach clubs living their best life. Because you don't have that, and you want that. And what's even worse in social media is people post the 1% which is amazing in their life, and they let you forget about the other 99%. Just quick tangent, I was in Bali for 3 months. I was making content about the fun things I was doing in Bali. I was flat broke. I had $4 in my account at one point. I had family around me who were struggling, who I had to try and help out. It was the most stressful time of my life, but to the outside world, it looked like it was a lot of fun. So be aware that that's actually the case for a lot of these people who you admire, who have these dream lives. And number 4, this was the one that was most true for me, lack of adventure or lack of meaning. I wanted more excitement, I wanted more adventure, I wanted more purpose in my life. I didn't have these things, so I sought out placebo adventures, a term coined by my mentor, and that term led to like a existential crisis. But anyway, it's a good thing looking back. I used to watch these TV shows, movies, read books about these protagonists on these great quests, these great adventures, so that I could live vicariously through them and feel as though I was on a journey as well. Now, obviously, there are a lot of other pains and needs that you may have, which I maybe didn't mention just now. So what I would suggest is, if you resonated with the points I just read, or there's another one, go journal about it. Try figure out what the underlying cause is of a lot of your pain. Because if you can address that cause head on, even if you don't do anything else to try sort out screen time addiction, it is going to get better just as a natural progression of you being a happier, more fulfilled person. Point number 3, the power of domino decisions. And then finally, point number 3, the power of domino decisions. So now that you understand that you don't need discipline or willpower anymore, so now that you understand that it's not a case of just trying harder or having more discipline, you need to implement a few changes into your life that are going to stop this cycle of scrolling and mindless consumption before it even starts. These are what my mentor calls domino decisions. You push them over once, and then they keep helping you without additional effort. Number 1, having a screen-free bedroom. If you don't have your phone in your bed at night, chances are you aren't going to doom scroll in your bed at night either. It's a tiny change that you make. It's as simple as carrying the charger to the kitchen and having your phone charged there. But it can have all the impact in the world if you just commit to sticking with this one decision. Then number 2, a short screen-free buffer before and after you go to bed. If you can just get 30 to 60 minutes of screen-free time before and after you wake up, you're going to feel so much more rested throughout the day. And on top of that, it's going to lead to less distracting behaviors because you're not going to start your day with this high dopaminergic activity of scrolling. You're probably going to start it with a walk or coffee or breakfast or speaking to a friend. So try implement it as much as you can. Number 3, a simple screen time bedtime. It sounds a little bit weird. Basically, you set an alarm on your phone, and when it goes off, you finish writing your message and you just shut off all your devices for the evening. So you don't have to go sleep. I know some people struggle to sleep early. All you have to do is stay off devices. You can journal, you can read, you can chat to family, you can play board games, you can shower, bath, whatever you want to do. Just don't use any screens. This helps with that wind down process that we spoke about earlier. You can combine the two. When the alarm goes off, that's the start of your screen-free buffer. And then number 4, if you can't do the whole screen-free bedroom, just listen to the advice I gave earlier of charging your phone in another room. Domino decisions aren't going to completely fix your screen time problem, but they are going to reduce the amount of willpower and discipline that you need, which means that you can reserve said willpower and discipline for the times when you really need it instead of every moment of every day. Now look, I'm no expert. I still slip up sometimes and I'm not pretending that I don't. But once I stopped trying harder and I started looking at what was causing these problems in the first place, and I had a few domino decisions, things did get way better for me. So if you're watching this and you feel stuck and like, no, this isn't going to work for me, I've got too much of a problem, whatever it is, That's not true. You just need a better plan. And the best plan I could suggest to you is the same free 7-day challenge that helped me reduce my screen time by 7 hours a day within 1 week using simple domino decisions. So if you do want to reduce your screen time and you want it to actually last, I'll put it in the top link in the description. You can check it out for free. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you joined that challenge because then I can also chat to you in the community. And if you've watched to this point in the video, I really want to because you have like a top tier attention span. Chat to you soon.